Hello folks, welcome to episode 38 of the Football Manager Creator Showcase. I am the Custard Prophet. Thank you very much for coming along. Now, if you're not familiar with what the showcase is all about, it's just a place where we ask a couple of creators to come along. We'll ask them some questions about the sort of content that they do, about themselves, and about their channels. We get to learn a little bit more about your favourite content creators, or maybe a content creator that you've not come across before. As always, we have two Football Manager content creators waiting in the wings. They're both incredibly eager to tell you about their channels and about their content. First up, we have a man who started out as a Football Manager blogger and now has moved on to become a YouTuber in the last year or so. It's Wroot1FM. And secondly, we have someone who really has figured out how to do Football Manager YouTube content creation really very well. His numbers are ridiculous considering how long he's been a content creator. It's Hood Gaming. Right then, let's get into it. Let's see what these guys have got to say.
So, my name is Steve, or Hood Gaming, as I'm known on YouTube. I'm relatively new to creating. Well, I say relatively new. I've been doing it over a year now. Doesn't time fly when you're in the middle of a pandemic? But yes, so I am Steve, or Hood Gaming UK. I come from a background of marketing, but now, as I said, I'm relatively new to the Football Manager scene. Been doing this content thing for around a year now. On the channel, you can see anything from, tips and tricks videos. We're doing a lot of tactic stuff recently. We've also got a Pentagon challenge, which is like 90 episodes deep at the time of recording this. So the Pentagon challenge, where we try and win all 5 Champions League equivalents on all the continents. We're in the middle of doing that. I've just managed to land on my 4th continent. We've already secured 3 of the trophies. So that is the main thing on the channel. Kicks it along to Berisha as well. Good distribution. Knocked it back to Jamin Chessel. Looked back for the German, but his movement wasn't there. He's intercepted it now, though. Come on! Berisha, the man for the big occasion, our designated player. That is the Let's Play content, but we're also doing some sort of evergreen content, tactics, Wonder Kids, that sort of vibe on the channel as well. In terms of non-Football Manager related content, we have had a FIFA series that is going on. It is a career mode series with Bristol Rovers, which is a team that I used to work for. Secret to success as a YouTuber, I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a one-size-fits-all thing. It's all about you and your personality and your content. It's one of those age-old things for me. In terms of Football Manager content, I'm a big fan of Zealand. His personality is fantastic. It's infectious, but it doesn't have to just be the big boys as well. In terms of the smaller content creators, sorry to label you guys as this. I mean, I definitely label myself in that category as well. But the likes of JDFM, Stinger, Demand More, these guys are all fantastic at what they do. They get their personality across, they get their expertise across, and it's all just fantastic to watch. The draft between Stinger and Demand More, absolutely fantastic viewing. Demand More is just trying to wind him up. It's just great viewing. So I wouldn't really say it's all about a secret to success. I'm not going to necessarily say it's about grinding. I wouldn't say it's about putting the time in and just churning out episode after episode after episode. Whilst Let's Plays are fantastic and they do keep viewers coming back to your channel, I find that finding content that is always searchable and stuff that other people are going to want to learn how to do is definitely the better way to go. You've seen it with, Fox in the Box doing a lot of training related videos, or you can see it with Omega Luke doing Wonder Kid videos. These are all fantastic options of general videos that bring people back to your channel over and over again. In terms of my first Football Manager memory, that would be playing the original Football Manager 2005, so I would have been 14 at the time when that game would have come out, and just some of the players on there that you could have picked up. I believe Freddie Adu was on that one. There was a guy from South Africa, Libohang Mokoena, who was probably the best player on the game. He's 17 years of age, comes out of Orlando Pirates as a first sort of exposure to some of these clubs and some of these leagues out there in the wide world has all come through Football Manager. Until that point, I was very focused on, probably just the UK and then, little bits of Europe. And playing Football Manager has really opened my eyes to the amount of different leagues and different things going on out there in the world. In terms of FM content that I like watching, I did mention a couple of the others previously. In terms of the larger content creators, I like Zealand. I'm a big fan of Omega Luke and Fox in the Box. But in terms of the smaller guys, JDFM, I think he's fantastic. Little Welsh gem he is. Stinger, Demand More FM. These are all fantastic guys with fantastic things on their channel. All of their saves that I've watched have been great. Seeing a lot of them blossom on Twitch as well has been fantastic. I'm learning things off of them at all times. I definitely can't recommend their content enough. There's nothing else from me that I'd like to include in this, guys, so I'm hoping that you've learned a little bit more about me, my channel, and all of that good stuff moving forward. Hopefully you guys can leave the links in the description, fingers crossed, and maybe if you are new and you want to come over and check out that Pentagon challenge that I mentioned earlier. We are in China at the moment. It's a very, very different experience. We've not managed in Europe yet. We've ticked off South America, we've ticked off Africa, and we've ticked off North America with various different clubs and varying degrees of difficulty, might I add. But as I said, we are now in China, so maybe come across and check out the series. If you've not managed in China before, it is a very, very interesting watch, and hopefully I can see some of you guys on a video or in my comment section very, very soon. So we've kicked things off, and then we have the first highlight: Jermaine Chessel and Berisha. Set pieces winning the trophies, boys. Come on, let's go. Jermaine Chessel with another free kick there, another assist for him.
Thank you very much. It's an honour to be on the showcase. Welcome everyone. My name's Wroot1FM. I'm residing here in Essex in England. Good play on my name, obviously with the long ball game from Wimbledon and Arsenal in the late 80s, early 90s. That's where that comes from. My channel is a Let's Play channel. So I like to always think out of the box and have a bit of story to it. So it is just a bit of fun. You've got so many other guys who have got obviously better setups who can do the technical side of things and do all the explaining of the game, but it is just a Let's Play channel and just have fun with it. So that's what it is.
Morgan's free kick, left footed, in it goes, towards the back, there's Ronaldo, there it is, it's a goal. Miss Miami's come out.
Now I've done both. I had a good little blog going on, which then turned into like a newspaper blog, and then before I started YouTube. But I've got to admit, blogging, you can open the doors no end. As long as you don't get writer's block, you can create a hell of a story with the with how you're doing it, with the backstories of the club to the players, where on YouTube, even though you get the visuals from it, ideally you are stuck to do a time frame for it, but you can still work your story into it, but not as in-depth like you can do with a blog. So that, I would say, is the major, personally I think it's the major difference, is the detail, the amount of detail you can put in for it. Cool. I go back to Championship Manager days now. That's me showing my age. I first started playing Champ Manager 92-93 through MS-DOS, and obviously you could first season you only had the 4 divisions, and you had a couple of I think you had the Italian one on there as well, because Italy football was big back then with Championship Manager as well. And I remember playing through the first season, and oh Christ, I was young, but I could pick up Christian Vieri from Italy, and then in the second season I could pick up Paul Gascoigne or David Platt. And I could never buy Gascoigne for Arsenal, I can tell you that for starters. Platt I did, but no, Gazza always went to someone like Manchester United and all that. So, and that was before obviously the likes of Beckham and all that come in. So it was proper 92, 93. I think was it Arsenal had obviously Rocky Rocastle, Ian Wright, Alan Smith, Kevin Campbell, Tony Adams, Dave Seaman, John Lukage, if you want to go back even further, he was on the game. So some great classics. And other players you could say like Tony DeGrigo from Leeds was one. Just trying to remember some of the names. So, but that was a great era, and that is my first obviously sort of FM champ manager sort of memory. Well, obviously I've always been a big fan of the game. I did take a hell of a break for a few years. Then I come back and I was playing in the hospital. I was in there with my daughter, and I was just playing it, and I just stuck out a tweet to FM, and I was playing with #United at the time, to say, look, I'm sitting in the hospital, I'm with my daughter, and I'm sitting there playing this while she sleeps and everything. And obviously within minutes, I would say, I had #like it, FM like it, and that got me thinking to, well, I've been watching YouTube here and getting a few ideas of people who play it, and I caught, was it the Master Bucks, he's an Aussie YouTuber, and he was playing FIFA, and then he also had Football Manager on there doing a Newcastle save, and I thought, okay, let's look into this a bit further. So I did, found some blogs, started blogging, got talked to some people, some other content creators, and then moved on from there, and that's why I'm now here doing this. Okay, my setup's not brilliant, it's not perfect, it does the job, it's not got the best graphics card, but I enjoy it and I can still try and tell a story with it. Who do I enjoy watching apart from the big boys? Well, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm obviously at work or I'm at lunch and I turn on YouTube, I watch a bit of straight edge TV. Edinburgh FM is a good shout. Obviously I'll try and catch up with obviously the likes of the Lou Show, because I can't watch him day in day out, and I can't obviously put that commitment in, so I try and catch up with him. Dr. Benji again, catch up with him. So it's the guys, but they're the big guys. But yeah, Edinburgh FM, Straight Edge TV, he's got one, obviously yourselves obviously on here, Tailor Made Gaming, Ball Winning Jack. So there's a few there, but obviously a lot of them do it on Twitch, like Mr. Diz. There's Josh Peach, there's obviously Demand More FM, there's obviously, we know Foxy, and we got the Streamer Showdown. So there's so many, so it depends on obviously what time I get, whether I can watch it on Twitch or YouTube. I'd just like to give a shout out to obviously anyone who has given me advice. I know obviously we've spoken a couple of times on here, and it is for someone who stopped playing in 2012 and come back in 2019. Now I wish I did start this obviously younger, but this wasn't a scene back then. Yes, you had the community and people were talking on forums, but now it's brilliant. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to anyone who I have crossed paths with, who's helped me with setting up my YouTube setup with ideas, blog ideas, graphics, as well, like giving me their views obviously on how it should look. Obviously yes, I've got to put my own spin on it, and you've got to make it your own and a bit different, But I'd just like to say an absolute big thank you to anyone who has helped me. Hope this ain't too bad for you, and please enjoy the custard. He works brilliant. He's doing the tennis management thing, but obviously he's supporting every creator he can. So hats off to you, my friend. I couldn't ask for a good colleague to bounce ideas off. You can obviously, I'll speak to you soon. That's 1-0. Robbie Robinson out to Morgan. Morgan cuts it back to Chapman. One touch, sets himself. Look at that, top bins. One of the best goals I've seen.
Well, that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. If either of those content creators tickled your fancy, then make sure you head down to the description below where you can find a link to their channels. Make sure you go over, drop them a sub, and watch some of their content and interact with them on their videos. If you want to see more of this sort of content, we have 37 previous showcase videos highlighting content creators big like Loki Doki and Zealand and Boone, and some who aren't so big. So there'll be plenty of content creators who you may not be aware of. If there is anyone that you think should be featured on the showcase, well, let me know down in the comment below. But if you have enjoyed this video, as always, I would massively appreciate a like on the video. If you're new to the channel and are looking forward to future showcase videos, then hit that subscribe button and make sure you have your notifications turned on. And yeah, that'll do it, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.